A week away after we had the wonderful guests, Lord Cognito of ILP and Code Eastwood. We got Jez Corden back, managing editor, Windows Central, to regale us with tales of Diablo and leaks and whatnot, I guess.
I haven't played any Diablo.
You haven't played any Diablo? Okay.
No, and it sucks because everyone's talking about how great it is. But we'll get into that in a minute. But hello, everyone. Yes, I'm back. I went to Poland. I went to 11-Bit Studios, and I played The Alters and Frostpunk 2. Very, 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 very good games.
You know, people were theorizing that because you were in Poland, you were visiting Xbox's new studio or Activision's new studio.
Yeah,
elsewhere.
I did see that. It was kind of it was a fun coincidence, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the news topics for the week is that Activision and Microsoft, although really it's Activision, they announced a new studio, Elsewhere Entertainment, which had apparently been operating in stealth mode for a while, but now they need to ramp up hiring for their project. They decided to come out of the woodwork, which is pretty cool, right?
Timing could have been a little bit better. You know what I mean? But, you know.
Yeah, timing's pretty much unfortunate. Yeah, but given the fact they just closed a bunch of studios, but it's a different pot of money at the end of the day. I suppose we can speculate on what they're actually making over there soon, but yeah, how you been, buddy? You been all right? You had a good week? How was last week? Podcasting without me?
I mean, bro.
I was in the air at the time.
You know, I miss having you because we got the rapport, right? But then I talked to Colt and Gaz, or not Colt. I mean, I do talk to Gaz a lot, but I talked to Colt and Cog so much that it was just like it just worked, man. It was really good discussion. You know, we were telling tales from each other about how Code Eastwood, you know, and I still have yet to, you know, let him live this down when he said to me, "Where'd you get that code?" I don't even know if I told you that story, but
I don't think so.
Yeah. It was when everybody was getting their Starfield codes, and
I was on.
Remember, as you know, I wasn't. I didn't know if I was going to get one.
What is it?
Right?
Hellblade 2?
And then I did, and I was like, "Oh, sweet." And I think Colt was away visiting family, or he was at the beach or something, and he's seen everybody get their codes, like me, Cog, Lord Attic, King.
Why is that disappointing?
Everybody's like playing Starfield, and he's like constantly F5 in his email, like reloading on his phone, but there's no email, and he just gets sad, right? Like he's like, "Where the," you know? So he texts me, and you know, sometimes you'd be like, you think his text would be, "Hey, congrats on getting Starfield. Let me know what you think," or whatever, right? But his text to me was,
Senua's Saga Hellblade 2 is the long-awaited follow-up to Ninja Theory's excellent Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice. A lot has changed since that initial release in 2017. A new generation of consoles has released, and Ninja Theory is now a part of Xbox Game Studios. We suspect there are many of you that will be looking to check out Hellblade 2 without having experienced Hellblade 1. While we recommend playing that very excellent and fortunately relatively short first game, if you'd rather save your first Hellblade experience for this latest installment, here's a complete recap of the events of Senua's Sacrifice. Set in the 18th century, the main character of the Hellblade series is Senua, a Pict warrior from the Orkney Islands north of Scotland. The game opens with Senua arriving at Helheim in a desperate attempt to save her dead lover Dillion. Senua is afflicted with psychosis, which is described as a collection of symptoms that affect the mind where there has been some loss of contact with reality. Senua's psychosis comes to her in the
I never played Assassin's Creed. I wonder if they have it, if it's on Game Pass.
What is happening to her believes these voices to be the Furies,
the first one, I think,
engines that are fueling her quest. In order to help guide her to Dillion's soul, Senua carries around her lover's severed head. We all deal with grief in our own way. To enter Hell,
the story of Assassin's Creed kind of just got retarded at one point. I remember that.
That rules Muspelheim, and a Valraven, a humanoid raven creature that consumes the hearts of children. Yum. After completing these tasks, Senua crosses the bridge into Helheim, but her progress is halted by Hela, the goddess of death, who shatters her sword. In order to take on the goddess, Senua needs a new weapon. She is guided to a tree by a spirit she believes to be Dillion, and after tackling several more trials, Senua is gifted with Gramma, the legendary sword that the Norse hero Sigurd used to kill the dragon Fafnir. Over the course of her trials, Senua's past is revealed to the player. It turns out that Senua's mother Galena was also afflicted with psychosis, and while Galena believed the voices to be a gift, Senua's father Zinbel disagreed, and as a result, burned Galena alive at the stake. Senua witnessed this event as a young child, which enhanced her psychosis and forced her to block out those memories. Zinbel, as you can imagine, was not the best of dads, and was abusive to Senua, believing that the evil of her mother had tainted her. Senua's life was plagued with misery, until she met Dillion, an outsider that visited her village and simply felt that Senua was misunderstood. Senua left to return to Dillion's own village with him, but soon after she settled there, a plague wiped out most of its residents. Senua, believing that her affliction was the cause of the plague, implemented a self-imposed exile in order to conquer her demons. After believing she had done so, she later returned to the village, but things had only gotten worse. The remaining villagers had been slaughtered by Viking raiders, including Dillion, in a ritual to the Norse gods, hence Senua's journey to Helheim. With Gramma in hand, Senua continues on the march to Helheim, overcoming more obstacles such as Garm, the beast that guards the gates to the realm. As she does so, Senua tries to shut out the voices in her head, believing that they are working against her as an extension of her father's
So bro, the way these things are written, what is the point of all this?
abuse. At last, Senua comes face to face with Hela, but the goddess of death quickly overwhelms her with a legion of the undead. In her final moments, Senua thinks back to Dillion and how he accepted her for who she is. Senua realizes that she must do the same and, in turn, comes to accept that the plague, the Viking raid, and the death of her lover were not her fault. She makes her peace and welcomes a killing blow from Hela wielding Gramma. As she does so, the realm of Helheim melts away around her, and it is revealed that Senua is alive, and it is Hela lying dead at her feet. The Pict warrior accepts the Furies as a part of herself, as well as the fact that there was nothing she could have done to save Dillion. And that is the entire story of Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice. If you're champing at the bit for more of Senua, make sure to check out our Everything to Know video around Hellblade 2, and keep an eye out for our eventual review of
That is the story? That's the best that we got? That's the story?
I'll be right here.
She struggles with thoughts and behaviors that today would be diagnosable and treatable by a psychiatrist or counselor. Things like the Fury and refuse very real foreign goddess. With Dillion's head in a bag at her side, and occasionally speaking to him, her own Furies, even the player themselves, Senua navigates Helheim, battling otherworldly creatures and frequently her own darkness and delusions. Instead of a linear story, we experience the universe through Senua's unique eyes, as visions, memories, and reality flow into one another in a disorienting shuffle. From the vantage of a modern-day clinician, Senua could simply be hiking through the wilderness, talking to herself, seeing things that aren't there, and struggling with her own inner demons. But to Senua, and to us, she is plumbing the depths of hell to battle darkness incarnate and slay the gods of her enemies. Her unique sight allows her to dispel illusions, unseal runic doors, even fix fallen bridges, all the while fighting the darkness that symbolizes her worst self, and which creeps further up her arm towards her head each time she falls in battle. Her Virgil-like guide through Helheim is the spirit of a man named Druth, who lives on either as memories of the stories he told her, a literal ghost, or both, depending on your interpretation. Druth regales us with epic Norse myths like Balder and the Mistletoe, although a decidedly different Balder than Kratos encountered.
He was beautiful, good and wise. He gave fair judgments.
Sigurd's slaying of Fafnir the dragon, the prophecy of Ragnarok, when the universe will burn and the gods themselves pass away, and of course, the legend of the Hellblade itself, Grimir, a blade capable of slaying the gods. Senua's sinuous path into Helheim leads her first through the domains of the fire giant Surt and Master of Illusions, Valravn. Senua dispatches them both in order to open Helheim's gate, but is struck down by Hela almost immediately upon their first encounter, left swordless and, eventually, Dillionless, as his head tumbles into a pit and disappears far below. Aided by her voices and visions, Senua comes upon the Hellblade embedded in the heart of a tree, and Druth's legends compel her to complete 3 heroic trials in order to reforge it. At the same time, Senua's memories and illusions gradually invite us into her tragic backstory. Her mother Galena was similarly touched by second sight, or suffered from hereditary psychoses, and Senua's devout and truly terrifying father Zindel eventually declared Galena cursed by the gods and burned her alive. Witnessing the murder at age 5 and being abused by her father and treated as an outcast by the townspeople only deepened Senua's darkness. Her sometimes erratic behavior caused the whole community to view her as bad luck, and when a plague swept through the village, her father was more than willing to blame her and convince others to do the same. That was when Senua decided to flee to the woods, a self-imposed 1-year exile in a valiant attempt to wrestle with her furies in solitude, hopefully returning to home and her love Dillion with the darkness at bay. But it was upon her return from seclusion that she found Dillion dead, and during this time, that she first crossed paths with Druth, an escaped Norseman slave who'd used his knowledge and ability to translate between Norse and Celt to lead the Vikings to villages to plunder under penalty of torture. Likewise, scarred by his own guilt, Druth takes a liking to Senua, and we can assume that the many stories she carries in her head are a gift of their time together. But not all voices are a gift. Terrorized by her own self-loathing, the stigma her people assigned her, the torture of her mother, the trauma of an abusive father, and the constant confusion sown by her own inner furies, Senua...
Yeah, I'm probably not gonna... I don't know. It just seems a little too much for no reason. Who writes this stuff?
You begin on how important is entertainment. Yes, I have some secret meetings way before the Xbox show, so I'm going to LA for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But we're still going to be doing podcasts in LA because I'm going to take a nice little lavalier microphone with me, as well as my little laptop, and we're going to still try and rock the podcast even from LA. We'll see how it goes. The audio quality probably won't be as good, but at least we won't be skipping any shows. But I'm also going to try and do some video content out there, because obviously, like, you know, I'll have access to exclusive games, exclusive footage of said exclusive games. So yeah, it should be a nice show, and there should be a lot of content coming out there, you know. But yeah,
and we got some shout outs here I'm going to get to, but question thread is up. Anybody wants to drop a question, make sure you go over there and we will answer at the end of the show. But we have shout outs for episode 317. We got Straight Allure. We have Xbox Dave, Jay Peltier, Thurgus, Christian the Password, Holy Dark Death, Steve Stompy, James Wiseau, Tricks Are for Trey, Battered Haddock, Army Dude 52C, Ryan Kipple, Foreign Object, Mythic Marty, Moronic Donkey 99, Reno Thor 19, Silas, Eric Gregory, James Moore, Fantasticals, Catriox, Bright Tundra 1, Trent Super is everyone's Fallout Daddy, Justin Duell, Frank Mariano, PB Broking, Ace and Madison, Governor Grimm, DZ Huffin, Achievement, The Scarecrow 121, Darren Tropey, Prof JJJ, Ghostface Killer, and Wolfgang KPZ. Thank you guys so much for supporting what we do here on the podcast. We appreciate each and every one of you. With that said, Jez, yeah, Tape Master Jujutsu said, at least Fran finally made a video this week. I did! Yay! Let's rejoice!
yeah, you made a video!
Yay! Made a video! It's been
It
8
was good.
months and I
watched the
almost forgot how to make one. You know, it's funny. Jez is like sending me a message like, dude, you're so good at this, bro. Like, what the hell? And I was like, thanks. And what'd you say? Like, are you sure you don't script it? I'm like, no, I don't script it. I just, you know, read off. Everything's off the top of my head. But the funny thing is, though, Jez, you don't see all the stuff I cut. Because the original, like, audio file was 25 minutes long. and I cut like 8 minutes out of it to get it down to 17.
Damn. That's a
So,
lot.
well, it's not all mistakes. Sometimes things don't work well. Like, I'll listen back to it and be like, I don't know. Like, this doesn't really seem like it's in the right spot. Maybe I should cut it. But yeah, it was fun. You know, getting back on the horse makes me kind of want to make more content and more content. So, you know, I've been thinking about maybe doing something tomorrow or Monday, depending on you know how things go. But yeah, it was fun.
I think you're an important voice in the Xbox community.
No.
Because
No,
you are. You really no. Shut up. You are, because you bring the level-headed take.
We don't need level-headed now. Level-headed is left the window. Left the building, I should say, not the window.
No, but you do, and most of us, the Xbox content creators, we tend to have these sort of massive swings and stuff like that. But
wait, are you saying people get emotional, like Jez Corden getting emotional?
Yeah, a little bit. You know, there's feelings based, and then facts based.
Feelings
Then
based.
there's
I think part of the problem is
fact based, but there's also rand based, and rand based is just generally based.
Yeah.
So you know, I think you're a nice palate cleanser. I think sometimes when it comes to creating this kind of stuff.
For a lot of people, they just can't help tweeting. Like for you, you're constantly like, I need to tweet out my thoughts and my feelings. I don't let anything percolate. You don't really sit there and think about stuff. So it's like immediately got to fire off those tweets, get those hot takes, right?
Yeah,
and it's emotional. Boom, 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 boom. You know.
My mentality is when I'm sort of, this is a habit I've had my entire life. It's sort of like, I don't like to think things through too much, because I kind of like feel like the initial reaction is the most authentic one, right?
Mm-hmm.
In my head, and maybe that's the wrong way to go about it. But because obviously when I'm writing content, I do think about it because I kind of have to. But my tweets are kind of like my authentic, genuine first reactions and stuff. But I don't know. But I don't want to change, because I feel like it wouldn't be authentic. I want to be authentic as possible, and I don't know why I have this thing about me where it's like I've got to be 100% authentic all the time, even if it's like gets me in trouble, you know. And even if like I change my opinion later based on new information. So I'm trying to be better and, you know, evolve a little bit. But I've always admired that about you, that you do let things percolate, and then you usually come back with a sort of more even take. And I think the Xbox community has missed you putting out that kind of content. So it was nice to see you make a video round. Is what I was trying to say. It was nice. You know, I'm trying to give you a compliment.
Thank
here,
you,
pal.
Maybe I just don't like. I feel awkward getting compliments.
Well, get used to it, because I'm going to give you lots of compliments every day.
Ooh.
No.
Anyways, we got some super chats, some member things we want to read, and we'll get into everything. We got Dave Ramos with the 2 Saturday Energy, Saturday Xbox, Saturday XB2. Yeah, maybe we should. I think I saw Fame say this on Twitter. Start calling ourselves the Multi-Platform Podcast. Apparently, the Multi-Platform 2. Yeah, could you imagine that?
Oh man, that would be pretty hilarious.
Well, we'd be like change it from XB2 to What would it be? Multi-Platform 2, MP2.
MP2,
Multi-Platform
yeah.
2, yeah.
The multi-platform too. I really want to shout at E-Ranks in the chat. It said that post-tweet clarity.
Yep. You know, because
Oh,
people
man,
always
that's
bring
funny.
up the tweets you say, you know, when you're tweeting all emotional and stuff. I think today I saw someone bring up your tweet from December about how Xbox isn't putting games on PlayStation. That's just fanboy copium.
Oh yeah.
Still,
mean,
you
people
know,
always
it's
bring
like,
that up.
Jez Corden said this back then, and he deleted it, and he doesn't know anything, loser.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? It's kind of
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah.
Hitch with the $4.99 says, Jez, I am begging to know if the Gears collection is real, and if the Coalition no people want to play it on PC, Steam, and the Steam Deck. He's begging to know if the Gears collection is real, Jez. And if you're going to lose that bet to Special Nick.
I honestly don't know for sure about Gears collection.
A lot of rumors,
I mean,
though. A lot of rumors.
There's
A lot of rumors.
with the Gears collection. It's like there's a lot of rumors out there, and you know it's gotten to the point where it's like I have to believe there's smoke.
Now, here we
There's
go.
fire. There's no
You
smoke. without
love
fire,
that saying, where there's smoke, there's fire.
Yeah, but I haven't been able to lock down any hard evidence at my end that there's a Gears collection even now, even despite all these rumors. And that's kind of weird because usually I can, you know, like the Doom stuff, which we're going to talk about in a bit. Obviously I put that in my predictions article for a reason. And I think we even joked about a medieval Doom on this
Dude,
podcast.
like, I think it was like
a
2
few
or 3 weeks ago. We were like, dude, what if there was medieval Doom? I don't know if people
Yeah.
caught that, but yeah.
Yeah, we joked about
Could Doom be medieval
Doom on
this
a
time
previous show.
around?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was locked down, and also the fact that Doom's coming to PlayStation locked that down as well. But the Gears collection, I can't even lock down the fact that it exists, and I think part of that is because I don't know, the Coalition, maybe they're just more secretive. The fact they're up in Canada maybe makes it easy for them to contain things. I don't know, and I don't doubt Special Nick. Because obviously Special Nick is relentlessly correct when it comes to this stuff.
Relentlessly. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, he puts a lot of rumors and speculation out there, which I think again gets misconstrued as reports sometimes. I've fallen foul of that myself. But when Nick actually puts his name to something, it usually turns out to be true in recent times, at least. So I don't doubt the existence of the Gears collection, but I just can't verify it at my end. I'll put my hands up. I'll admit when I can't get information about something, and that is specifically one situation where I can't get information about it. So we'll see what happens. If it is real, I would expect it to be at the showcase, right?
Yes. I would expect it to be launching this year too if it's real. If it's at the showcase this year, I would expect it to launch this year. You don't need to announce something like that a year in advance.
No, you don't.
So I would
also-
imagine, because I don't know if this show's going to be the prediction show. Maybe it is. Maybe it's not. I mean, you did write your prediction article, so maybe this will be the prediction show. But we still have 2 more episodes to go before the actual showcase. So maybe this will be. But
I already wrote it. I put it out there.
I know you put it out there. I'm saying so. Maybe this will be the prediction episode. I don't know. When I title stuff, and it's just like, okay, what's the big topics for the week? We got game showcase, Hellblade 2 discourse. Doom.
I think you should make a video.
No,
about your predictions
I'm
before
probably
you do it.
am going to. I've been making. I'm just saying this
Right, good.
episode specifically would be right. But one of the things I think you said in your predictions was Gears 6, right? You think Gears is going to be revealed this year?
That is a prediction. Yeah, my
I think
prediction.
Tom
is Gears
Warren's
6.
been heavily hinting about a Gears game all year.
Yeah, Gears 6, it seems, is... I think there'll be a Gears 6 teaser, or just an announcement that it's here without any sort of time frame given, but probably the next couple of years for that to be released, I would expect.
Yeah, so just...
In my opinion.
Yeah, the collection... I would include that in my predictions. Games... what was the games that we had labeled last year? Wasn't the Mysterious 6.
Elusive.
The Avowed. What was the last one? What was the 6th one? That's 5 games.
Oh, Pokemon.
Not Pokemon.
Oh, no?
Either way, it was the Elusive 5 or the whatever it was, right? And we did get Fable. We did get Fable last year. And the ones that are still, and Avowed, and it was the ones that are still left are Everwild, Perfect Dark, State of Decay 3, and it's kind of okay, well, you see all those this year, right? But I haven't really sat down to think, okay, which ones of the Elusive 5 would actually show up? Plus, what is Bethesda going to bring to the table? Will it only just be Doom, or will there be more, that ZeniMax MMO game they're working on, whatever it is that they've been working on for like 4 years now. Like, you figured that could probably be ready to show off. Then there's like Activision's a part of this, and yeah, Call of Duty Black Ops 6 and stuff, but do they have anything else? I mean, nobody even knew they had a secret studio for over a year. That just popped out of
No, they
nowhere
didn't.
one day. So is there other projects that they're have that teed up that they could show? I don't know. Not to mention like just the games, but Activision Game Pass stuff, or
Singularity,
Hardwire, right?
Prototype.
Or the new controllers that leaked, or the refresh of the Series X, like cylinder thing that showed up in the leaks, or the
Handheld
off-rumored
tease.
handheld. Is that, Sarah Bond said they would tease some hardware at the end of the year. Do we go here and get a tease of the heart of maybe the handheld or something? Or I don't know. There's a lot of things to really kind of sit down and think about. Okay, what could be at the show? Plus, there's third party. There's always going to be third party, indies to maybe AAA stuff. Although Xbox kind of typically shies away from some of that stuff in recent years. But yeah, there's a lot. I don't know. But Gears Collection, I've been thinking for a while is real, and I've been thinking this is the year we see Gears 6. And that the Gears Collection would also be like... The way in my mind, how I envision the announcement is essentially the last game announcement before they switch to the Call of Duty deep dive, right? So in the same position of Clockwork Revolution, and it starts with the Gears Collection, and it has a date, like coming in August. Or maybe like beta in July or something, where it's like real soon, but it's like releasing in August. And then, but it's like, but wait, there's more. And it's a really, really short tease of Gear 6 without a date. But now the Gears Collection's real, and here's Gear 6. And then Phil comes on stage to just go over the whole show again like he always does, and then it's boom, into Call of Duty. That's how I think the show ends. Because remember, I said, so like to me, I have show opener, Perfect Dark. You kind of follow in last year's footsteps. You just come out swinging for the fences with Fable. Right? A game that people have been wanting to see for a long time. And you just start off the whole show with it. You start the footing on, put your good foot forward, essentially. So boom, Perfect Dark. Start that off first. Get people excited. Like, oh, okay, what's Crystal Dynamics Initiative cooking on? And then last, it's a new game, and it's Gears. And, judging from the praise that everybody has, at least for how Hellblade 2 looks, and Digital Foundry calling it basically like the high point of like real-time graphics. Could you imagine what the Coalition's going to cook with Gear 6? Like, they're the Unreal experts outside of Epic.
Yeah, I mean, when has Epic ever made a photorealistic game though?
True.
I think the Coalition's even beyond Epic at this point. But it's intriguing because Shinobi,
Ooh,
I believe,
Shinobi.
I believe Shinobi has put out there that Gear 6 might even look better than Hellblade. I'm sure he put that out there on Reset Era or something.
Maybe
Unless
he
I'm
did.
going crazy, and maybe if I'm misattributing something to Shinobi.
I mean, that would be nuts
apologize
because
right
Hellblade 2 is words really can't even describe how amazing Hellblade 2 looks. And I know it's not your type of game, and we'll talk about Hellblade 2, but even you, when you were playing it to me, you were like, this game looks insane.
Yeah,
And it does.
It's crazy.
So to imagine...
And it's...
Go ahead. Keep on going.
Well, I was just going to say, like, I've been to Iceland fairly